Hi guys, I welcome you all on the behalf of Tonic with Tushar. In this particular video, we are going to discuss a simple question from LeetCode. The question number is 182. Question number is 182, duplicate email. The question is quite simple and it clearly states like we have a certain table with the name called as a person, and the table consists of two column value, that is the ID and email. And they have clearly mentioned like the id is a primary key. As we all know, like primary key is basically a constraint, a condition that we set to a column where all the column values should be unique and they cannot be null. Okay, and we use this primary key for the identification of every row. Now so they have asked us to write a solution where we have to report, we have to give all the duplicate emails from the table. So let's say from the email column, we have to give all the duplicate emails. Okay. And the result could be in any order. So it doesn't matter for us. And these are the like test case scenario that have been present. So if you see, we have a ID for a person, we have their mail ID, then a ID, then a mail ID, then the ID, then the email ID. Okay. And the output we wanted is in an email column with that value. So here they have asked us to give us a duplicate email. So the duplicate email means like basically a particular email should be present multiple times. It could be present 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It could be present n number of times. So what we have to do, we have to find it out how many time a particular person is available. Okay. So we have to find out its occurrence, like what is the total occurrence of this a@b.com. So about this particular mail ID. So what we are going to do is we are going to select the email column from the person table that will be present here. And here in this particular scenario, we are going to group the data. So if I just group the data from this email column, so what we will do, we will be looking after what are the unique values we have. So there are two unique values like a@b.com and c@d.com. So the third one, the third value is again duplicate. So duplicate for which a@b.com. So when we have grouped the data, so that means the similar values are being kept together. So if you just think it out like this way, so this person ID 1 and this person ID 3, they will be kept here, okay, in one group, and this person with the mail ID or with this person with the ID called 2 and having a mail at like c@d.com, that will be kept in a second group. So there will be two groups which will be created for us. So let's verify. So if you check the data, there should be two groups. So there are two groups if you check it out. Correct. Now we have to find it out how many time or like how many values are present in each group. So how many times this c@b.com is present. So we have to use a group by operation. So in case if you wanted to use a group by operation, so what you have to say? You have to say count star. So count star is basically going to count how many number of time a particular column is present. So here the best thing is either you can write down count star or either you can write down count id. So it doesn't matter at all right now, but in case if we have a null value, it affects a lot of values here. Okay, so don't apply the count method at any time on the column where all the values are null. Okay, or if you have any null value. So you see like we get the person with the email ID a@b.com and its occurrence, and the second email ID with its occurrence. Now what we have to do is we have to count how many time, okay, a duplicate email ID has occurred. So we have to give all the duplicate email ID. So the duplicate email ID means their count should be greater than 1. So here we have used a count method, which is basically an aggregate method. So if you wanted to filter out the data based on the aggregation result, so you have to use a having clause. So in case if you wanted to do the filtration normally from the data, we will be going with a where clause. Okay. So this is a very common misconception, like either to use a where clause or a having clause. So remember a very simple trick. In case if you wanted to get the data from a group by operation like sum, min, max, average, standard deviation, anything like that. Okay, so always go with the having clause. So if you see, we will be only filtering out the data where based on my certain condition where the count is count of id is greater than 1, we will be filtering out the email and its count just to look for the data. So we see we get the data like this. So we are expecting the same output, we are getting the same email ID. The only two thing is we don't want the second column and the column name should be email. So what you have to do is you have to remove this count part and you have to set this column name with an alias. Now if you run it, so if you see the test case has been solved, the output that you have generated is same as per the expected part. So if everything is done, so submit it, and if you submit it, so that means you have successfully completed this this questions from here. Okay, so you see we have solved the question. Fine. So I hope you have got the idea like how to solve this particular problem with the group by. So this is a very common solution for that. So these questions can be done in n number of ways. Okay, but we have to just find it out a very simple use case. So we have done it with the group by. Fine. So I hope you have enjoyed this particular video on solving the question about the duplicate emails from LeetCode. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. So we will see you in the next video. Till then, keep practicing on LeetCode, and we will be putting more and more videos on LeetCode about the problem solving skills using SQL. So I wish you all the best. Till then, enjoy, keep learning, have a great day, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye from Tushar.